Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to my channel. We are today, Friday, April 29th, 2017. And the particular topic discussions that we are going to have, excuse me, it's actually a something that I hear many people say, but many people within the Haitian community, they always say things like Haiti will never change. So the question that we have for today is, will Haiti ever change? Now, what I've written down is Haiti is a country, a beautiful mountainous land that needs to be replenished in order to shine. All right. So many people are always saying things like, will Haiti change? Haiti is a country. Haiti is not a person. Who and what has contributed to the state of Haiti? Haiti needs to grow. Haiti needs a people to love her. Haiti needs attention and care. Haiti needs love. It needs for other nations and other people to stop abusing her. It needs conscience, citizens. It needs a redirect focus and a powerful and positive leadership. She will only change when our forefathers, ancestors, and the spirit world acknowledges the leadership and direction taken. Only then will they bless us and open the gate to prosperity for our land. Remember 1804? Remember Vertières? Remember 1791? Those who have been buried and turned their backs into us are waiting for the next generation of Toussaint Louverture, Dessalines, Capois-Lamont. They are waiting for you to take on the leadership of your country. Now, I know that many people will watch this. This is what I've written out. I really have an undying love for the land, and the undying love for the land that I have. Oh my God, I hope I'm not going to cry. The undying love for the land that I have is really has been passed down to me from my parents, from my dad. But lately, me and my father, every evening, we have a long discussion. And, my father has always been someone that I looked up to as far as the love of the land. And I don't know if it's because, we are all Asian, or I don't know if it's the real reality and the true reality. Father has says to me many times recently that IT is not going to change, that he really, really doubts it. But he also said to me, and he also would say, in order for Haiti to change, it would need revolutionary mind. That's what he said to me. He said, not necessarily revolution with the guns, with, another, battle, but a revolutionary of the mind. And the author, Don Clitangue, in his first book, Exile to Brooklyn, at the end of the book, he stated that as well. And I do think so. IT will never see the light of what it once was. The people who've died for our liberty will never, never understand that until we have really a conscience and until we realize that we have contributed to what she is, and until we come together and we say enough. We have got enough. We do not want that anymore. Yes, I am guilty. And yes, I have contributed, but it is time for change. But do I believe that it is a change that is going to happen now? No, I do not believe so. It is not going to happen now because of what I saw when I went to the US, the way I saw the Haitian over there. I'm very sorry to say that, but they are worst. They are so worse than the Haitians in Haiti. The way they are educating their kids to stay away from the culture. Haiti is not about Dieu and Sospoir. Haiti is not about griot. Griot is not even good for your health. Griot is not even good for your health. Pork is not good for your health. So Haiti is not about that only. Haiti is not about when it's carnival time to tie your headband and to go in the streets. Haiti is not about trying to be a thug, trying to be a, please stop. You are ridiculous. You know, people are laughing at you. Every time I see a young Haitian and he has his pants beneath his bottom with the Haitian flag, you should imagine the things that goes into my mind when I see that. Haiti is not about that. Haiti is about strength. Haiti is about courage. Haiti is about being the most powerful nation. But you as a Haitian has to acknowledge that. You have to know who you are. Unfortunately, what I've noticed and what I've saw was that the majority of the people in the United States, the majority of parents, the way they are educating their kids. And I've talked about that before in the video that I have, Why Are Haitian Parents? And I was referring that to the Haitians over there. See, I think that there's also a culture shock when you're talking about having the people who are raising their children in the United States. See, this is not only for our community, but when you are raising your children in a different culture, these children are not Haitians. Just because you are sitting at home, just because they know how to speak Creole, some of them don't even know how to speak Creole. They have a totally different bringing. They go to school. School is teaching them certain things that and implementing in them certain things that you are not doing at home. So you have to be aware of that. If you want your children to have the love of the land, if you want your children to have that Haitian background, then perhaps you are not able to raise your children in Haiti. But you have to make a conscious effort to come down to Haiti with your kids. You have to make a conscious effort to send your kids, if not every year, then every other 2 years to vacation with family members. So now that child is going to grow in between two worlds, and that child is going to take from both culture the best and become strong. But you got Haitian kids who know nothing about Haiti. You got Haitian kids. The last job that I had, okay, before I came down, I worked a lot with the Haitian Americans. And I didn't even befriend one of them because these kids are totally Americans. These kids' mindset are worse than the true Americans. It's a problem because that's your generation. That's the generation of the kids that should come back to Haiti and be able to do something, but they are totally disconnected with their lands. They are totally disconnected with Haiti because of what their parents have infiltrated inside of them. The hatred for the land that the parents have said, oh, you can't go to Haiti, or Haiti this, hate. Shut up. Shut up. Shut up. I can't even deal with these people when I hear them talk. I don't like to talk to them. This is one of the reasons why it's difficult for me sometimes if I run into a young people and that person is not in their 20s, to sit with you and talk to you. Because once I enter the US, I have a totally different mindset because I know that this is a country who runs on scam and I don't trust the Haitians over there. So it's difficult for me to sit back and advise some of my youth, especially if you are underage, because I know I don't want my advice to you to come back to me. You understand what I mean? So a lot of time it may be that if I'm doing any type of mentorship, I do the mentorship within a program. Or sometimes if I run into a person, and that person is either at work, sometimes they talk to me while they're working, I try to encourage them. I try to advise them because I know that you are not getting that mentorship from your parents. And a lot of it has to do with the fact that, your parents have lived a totally different life than you. Sometimes I think also when it comes to the young people, I think that because the Haitians have so many skeletons in their closets, a lot of them have not shared with their children who they truly are. A lot of them have not shared with their children their background, how they came to the US. You gotta be honest with your kids. You gotta be able to tell your kids who you are. If right now your kids are able to have a roof over their head, perhaps your time in Haiti was harsh. Perhaps your beginning time in the US was harsh. We are immigrants. I can't compare myself to some of my cousins who lived in the US. I cannot because they always are going to have perhaps a little bit more than I do, because in their country I am also an immigrant. Although, granted, my parents have done everything to make sure that I have a smooth transition. At the end of the day, if you are raised in a particular country, if you grow up there, if you have everything, of course you're going to have a different leverage. So this is really what I have to say in regards to if Haiti will ever change. Haiti will only change when the Haitians understand who they are, when the Haitians take conscience of who they are, when the Haitians teach their children otherwise. Also, one thing that I have realized is that the Haitian parents over there are very in the US. See, I deal a lot also with the Spanish community. The Spanish community is very different from the Haitian community in the sense that a Spanish child understands very, very much that once they get inside the house or inside the community, they better act right. Their parents will not hesitate to, their little ass. Whereas what I have noticed, and I think it's, the Haitians, it's kind of like they are afraid of their kids. What? They are afraid. I'm not saying that you have to beat your children or anything like that, but you cannot raise your children in such a way that you have lost control over them. And I'm not saying that, because you also have to, you really see, I think that 11 minutes, I have to hurry up. See, I think that when it comes to the Haitians, I think that some people, the people who left here and go to the US or anywhere for that matter of fact, I think they never really, they have never done that bridge. So here they are living in a different culture, but still having the same mindset that they had back in Haiti, and they have children. And with the kids that they have, they can't relate with the kids, because that kid is evolving in a totally different culture, and you've never taken conscience to tell yourself that I am not in Haiti. I hear that all the time. People say that to kid, oh, so te Haiti. Yeah, but di pa Haiti. Ti moun nan pa Haiti encore. So a been ti moun nan se te Haiti. Come on now. You gotta grow your mindset for your children. And I know this video is going to have a lot of thumb down. I really don't care, because I have to speak what? The truth. I have to speak the truth. You have to teach your children otherwise. And also when children are acting up or they're doing what we like to say, oh, fe bagay ti American, it's fe bagay ti American. What is the environment where you are raising your kids? If the kids has around them a lot of American kids, then they're going to pick from their environment, and you can't be upset, or you can't want to hide your kids in an apartment and never want your kids to get out. I know people who have done that until the kids started to really rebel. So this is really, really, really what I had to say. And I know that this was like, I turned it into something else, but I really wanted to talk about that. And one thing, 13 minutes, one thing that I have to also share is while I was over there, I realized and I sensed that I saw many people who were alcoholic. And that pained and did something to me. Because it's kind of like when you're looking at someone who either went to school with you or someone that you know, and you see how that person has changed within 5 years, because I was away for 5 years, and you have to ask yourself, could that have been me? The life in the US is no joke. It's a no joke life. And I don't think that our community is supported. We lack support in our community, and we have to change that. We have to change that. That's why the Haitians over there are not even strong. That's also one of the reasons that my stay recently and moving forward, I removed myself from that community, because this is a community that is unprogressive. I hate to say it. It is an unprogressive nation. And I can't let my love for the land misjudge me and cloud my vision. I can't let that happen. I have to grow, prosper, right? That's what I had to say about this very heavy but needed, much needed topic discussion. I have one more video for you for the day, which is somewhat of a book review. Thank you so much for watching my videos, guys. I hope you learned something. These videos stir up emotion. They do. They do. But they are necessary if we want to progress. I will see you in the next.